and I'm not that same individual that I was as during oh dang, I'm like okay, I'm not that same individual as I was. I'm not that same person as I was. I'm not the same person. Wow. I really, oh my god, it's really been a minute. Okay, so hi everyone, I know it's been a long time, but I'm back and today I'm going to be making a video about platonic love and things that I've learned from platonic love. So I've actually never ever been in a relationship. How old am I? I am 24 years old and I've never ever been in a serious committed relationship. And that's a lot to unpack. I could talk about a lot of things of why I haven't been in it, but we're not gonna do that today. Today we're gonna talk about the things that I've learned through platonic love and how that's helped me grow as a person and realize that being in a relationship is not everything. Because I remember as a 19-year-old freaking out because I remember reading like this astrology thing and how I was freaking out because I was like, wow, like I'm never gonna be in a relationship, like, and I would just be so sad because of social media, because I would look on social media and see all these couples, everyone always posting like things about their significant other and just reflecting on me and feeling less of a person because I wasn't in a relationship, and just really picking myself apart and like asking myself like, why am I not in a relationship? Why? And thinking that the only way I could get actual love is through a relationship, through a relationship. And I am so happy to say that I don't have those same views. I'm not the same 19-year-old, obviously, with that same mindset, and I'm really happy I've grown out of that mindset and realized that my worth is not based on whether I'm single or in a relationship, because I've genuinely felt so much love being single and through my platonic relationships. Obviously I can't really say anything for being in a serious relationship, but I will talk about what I've learned through platonic love. If you are single and if you feel uncomfortable being single, it's completely okay to be single. It's completely fine if you've never had a significant other, because through platonic love I've learned that I could find intimacy, unconditional support, unconditional love, and so much empowerment through that, because those people that are in my life and that platonic love has made me really grow into a strong individual and really know what is okay and what's not okay in relationships. Okay, so as I said earlier, I remember feeling very less of a person and less of an individual, and because I wasn't in a relationship, and everywhere I would look around and see how everyone was just in so much love and seeing hearts and kisses and everything, and I'd just be like, wow, like when is it gonna be my turn? And the thing that would make me upset would be how like I used to think that like I needed to grow or do so much work and, you know, not be toxic or all these things, and then I would get in a relationship. But the truth is, like, you just never know. And then like the thing that would really make me mad would be seeing how there's people out there that are in relationships and they're not the most, they genuinely don't seem happy and they cheat on each other, or they're they're just not, like, you could tell they shouldn't be in a relationship because of the way they treat their significant other. And then you ask yourself, like, how the heck did they get in a relationship and I'm not in a relationship and I've done the work? And then you find yourself comparing. Like, I realized from that was not healthy at all for myself. And everyone's timing is very different in life, and maybe some people do learn a lot from being in relationships, and I do actually feel that you do learn a lot from being in relationships, because I haven't been in a serious relationship doesn't mean I've dated, because I've dated people, or I mean I've gone on dates and like all these things I've dated, but I've never actually committed to a very serious relationship at all. So yeah. Let's see. And so with platonic love, I've genuinely found not found my worth. I've been able to be reassured with my worth and my value as a person because of the strong relationships that I've built. And every person, like, because of the people in my life, I feel that they've been very supportive and accepting of me and just like given me such unconditional love, that because of that, because of platonic love, I know for a fact that I'm not gonna settle for anything less when it comes to a relationship. So yeah, and I genuinely feel like all the things that I talk about, like, you can apply that to being into a relationship, because you cannot have, what is it called, you cannot be in a relationship, or I don't recommend being in a relationship if you don't have unconditional support, unconditional love, and what is it called, and just basically seeing the other person accepting you for who you are. If you don't have all those things, or trust and all of those elements that you have in platonic love, you will not have a good, healthy, thriving relationship. And so I genuinely feel like platonic love is so important. And a lot of people feel that like their platonic friendships are just not as important as your relationship or your romantic relationships. But I feel that you should never ever put them in a hierarchy, or like you should never put one on a pedestal, or any of them in a pedestal. They're, in my life, in my world, they're all equal, and you could get so many amazing things and experiences from platonic love if you just let yourself. And a lot of people, especially me in the past, I would not see those things, and I would just be so fixated on, I have to be in a romantic relationship, I have to blah blah, and I have to, and I have to, and I have to, and I would just definitely ignore all the things that I've learned and all the things that I've experienced through platonic love. But yeah, so yes, I feel that through platonic love I've been able to really find support, a really good sense of like acceptance, a really support, and a sense of like community as well. And yeah, and I feel that through platonic love I've also found respect in my own boundaries, and people who really love you, they will support your boundaries and uplift your boundaries. And I also feel that I've been able to really develop my communication and confrontation skills, because through platonic love, I found out how to confront things that I don't necessarily like in that friendship or relationship, and be able to advocate for myself. One example is how I had this conversation with one of my friends, and I was just talking to her, and I was genuinely so choked up, and I knew that I had to have this conversation, and if I wanted our friendship to thrive or our relationship to get better, because one of my needs wasn't getting met. And so it took literally everything out of me to just talk about it, because the fear of that person not understanding where you're coming from is definitely real. The fear of like that person really shutting you down is very serious too. And the fear of, let's see, other them backlashing and making you feel like you're overreacting and guilt tripping you, shaming you for like advocating your needs. That's also all of those things you will most likely, if anything, possibly experience in a romantic relationship. So obviously, like, I feel through that situation, I was able to really be okay with vocalizing my needs in a platonic relationship. I was always the individual that was planning things for us hanging out, and I just felt like I wanted to see that being reciprocated, because I love making plans with my friends and planning things out, but I also want to see that be reciprocated, because I don't want it to feel like a one-sided, one-way thing. And so yeah, and I remember just talking about that and just feeling like I can already see myself getting like super tense, just I remember feeling so tense and feeling like, oh my god, I'm so scared, like what if she doesn't see where I'm coming from, what if like she like screams at me, or what's like, you know, all that fear is honestly real. But it felt so good to talk to that person, because after vocalizing those things, they were like, no, like it's completely normal that you feel that way. Like they completely validated the hell out of me, and I just felt such a sense of relief. And I was like, oh, like this is what it's like to be in a healthy platonic relationship. And through that, like, it helps normalizing advocating your needs and knowing that like it's okay to talk about certain things that aren't being met in your platonic relationship. The next thing that I learned from platonic relationships was being able to be a very physically being okay with being physically affectionate, because I genuinely, I mean, obviously I'm haven't been in a relationship, so I wouldn't have learned, but I wasn't a very physical person at all. Like, I remember clearly giving hugs and being so awkward about it. Like, straight up, I was so awkward. I just feel like so weird about giving hugs, and I just could never really give hugs at all. And through platonic relationships, I remember most of them, they were just very loving and accepted me with open arms, and they just wanted to show me that. And I was able to really go past that without feeling cringy. And now I'm able to really give hugs, and that might be such a small thing and maybe you might not experience that, but a lot of people actually do. And I know I was one of them, because I remember there were other platonic relationships where other people wouldn't be okay with giving hugs, but I'd be like, oh, like, I want to show you how much I love you and appreciate you. And now I can genuinely feel the love through hugs and other forms of physical affection. I cuddle with my friends, and we have like sleepovers, and I love cuddling with my best friends and just having that there and showing them things that I love about them. I love grabbing my friends. Like, sometimes when we're just cuddling or sitting together, I just like grab their ear and I'm like, oh, their ear's so soft, or their nose, or just play with their hair, and that's completely fine. Oh, like in cuddling too, and also like doing other things that you would do in a romantic relationship, like cooking dinner together, watching a movie. There's also, what is it called, like shopping, or all these other things. Like, I've done these things with platonic relationships, and I've learned how to even be comfortable with them in silence, and I feel like that's the best type of relationship you could have. And let's see, and through intimacy, and also I feel that through platonic love, I've been able to really grow on an intimate level, that I am happy that I allowed myself to grow through that. And having those conversations with those platonic relationships, I've been able to really pass through discomfort, because it's really takes a lot to be very intimate. It doesn't take a lot, but from a person who was never intimate with other people, it took a lot out of me to be open and intimate and just raw with these people, and for them to just really be able to hold a space for me where I'm able to just be my authentic self with any ounce of judgment, has just been the world to me. And I've been able to really realize, like, yeah, like, I deserve this and more, and it's okay to deserve that and more, and to ask for more, because it's your life, and people deserve to experience the type of love that makes you feel so supportive and so seen. I'm speaking very passionately right now, but it's very true, and I just feel so happy for myself that I've been able to really have those experiences, and I know I will continue to have those, because that's something that's normal to me now. It's normal to like ugly cry and just basically be able to just be yourself and have those like conversations with those people, and have them hold you and love you, and still be able to support you through those hard times. And those same experiences can also be applied in a romantic relationship, because those in a romantic relationship, you obviously want to grow together, you want to accomplish goals together, and just see the other person win. And that's how it's been as well in a platonic relationship. We've been able to grow together, to go through, I wouldn't say fighting, but arguments in the past. Like, I've gone through arguments with friends before and been able to communicate things, and been able to be in situations where we hit rocky times and talk about that and normalize that, and talk about how the other person might have said things or done things that might have hurt the other person. And those are the same experiences you will most likely get in a romantic relationship as well. And because of those experiences that I've had, I've been able to really learn about what to do moving forward. Say, that's one thing that I've always learned. It's like, it's normal to have those arguments or bump heads with other people or your platonic relationships, but what you have to like know to do is to know what your future is gonna look like, what things what is it called, what are things you want to do differently. I remember one person told me that you're not a bad friend or individual or person if you do something and it hurts the other person. You're a bad person if you continue to do those things knowing 100% well that they are going to hurt that other person, and even after that other person has talked to you about how your actions are hurting them, then you're a bad person. Because obviously, like, I've been guilty of this. Like, I've done things that have hurt my other my platonic relationships, and it was through talking about them and having those uncomfortable confrontational conversations that I've been able to really be able to own up to what I've done and apologize and move forward and know that that person forgives me. I know those things can be very uncomfortable, but that's also part of those relationships, or things that you will experience in those relationships, both platonic and romantic. But yeah, other things that I've learned through platonic love is really going on dates. Like, I've learned going on dates with my platonic relationships, which can look like literally planning that out, setting things up, whether that other person is doing that or I am. And those things can also be applied in a relationship. Like, obviously when you're in a relationship, you have that honeymoon phase, and then a lot of people say, like, then after that people stop trying or something like that. I wouldn't know, obviously, because I've been single, and that's okay. But yeah, and it takes work. Like, both of them take work, platonic love and romantic love. But in platonic love, I've seen how the other individual has been able to apply that work and that effort, both them and I, to continue to see each other and continue to plan dates and plan things that we can do together. And I've been able to just really appreciate that and, like, learn that I'm like, oh my god, like, if this person is able to, like, just plan such a beautiful, amazing time with me, then, like, obviously, like, I can see that being applied in a romantic relationship. Because, like, honestly, my platonic relationships have shown me so much, and I'm not settling for anything less than that, whether that's on a romantic level and a platonic level. So yeah, like, the effort that I see that these people put into seeing me and all these, like, things, then, like, I'm obviously going to continue to accept that and more. I just wanted to say, for anyone who's watching this, if you feel that there's something wrong with you because you've never been in a serious committed relationship, or you're single, there's really nothing wrong with you, and there's nothing wrong with being single. Being single is great. It's okay to be single, because through being single, you'll get to learn a lot about yourself and other people if you allow yourself to. And the moment I started focusing more on those platonic relationships and being okay with being single, the more happier I felt. Because it's true, as the saying goes, where your focus goes, your energy flows. And because I remember I was always focusing on the thing that I never ever had or never experienced, and how upset I was always in a state of being upset and really sad about that certain situation. But the moment I just let that go and really just focus on what I had, on what I had on the platonic relationships that I've had, I've been able to really feel more gratitude towards that, and more happiness towards that. So yeah, I really wanted to say thank you guys for listening to this video, and maybe comment something that you've learned in this video, or something that you've learned through platonic love. And I hope you guys you all can subscribe and like and follow. I will see you next time.